excited. Let's going to give it 2 more minutes to get more people in, and then I will start the presentation today. Ria, thank you for having your camera on. We are recording, so of course, since we're recording, I wanted to be sure that the people that is not going to be able to make it today, I'm going to upload this and send the link to all of you at the end. So if you don't take notes, it's okay because I will send you the link to the recording. And also I'm going to be sure that anybody who's not able to be here is able to see it. No coming through clear.
Sorry,
What
Anita, are you saying you can't hear us or is the connection weird? Just wanted to double check. Oh, feedback. Yeah, I think someone has their if everyone could mute themselves, guys, just so that we can make sure we don't have any feedback. Not that we don't want you to talk. We love when you talk. It's just we want to make sure everyone's clear. Okay. Anita, is that better? No? Okay.
No. Okay, let's go to be sure. I'm checking right now that everybody except Sandra and myself should be on mute. Perfect. Okay, welcome. We are going to be recording again this session, so I would love to see some of your beautiful faces because it's easier to talk to people than to black screens, but I understand if you don't want to be on camera. Yes, Anita, please log off and come back in. I'm going to give you 1 minute and then we start. I want to be sure that everybody is here for the presentation. Welcome everyone to this presentation. I'm really excited to be in here. Let's see. Perfect. Everybody can hear me okay? Can you guys give me just a thumbs up? Good, Ria? Okay, perfect. Everybody's able to see my screen right now? Perfect, yes, great. Perfect. So I want to be super respectful of your time since it's probably the middle of the day in Ohio. So I'm going to start the presentation right away. Welcome to this webinar. Today we're going to learn about the SeedSpot Emerging Retail Brand Accelerator Midwest. SeedSpot is a globally ranked business accelerator for entrepreneurs who are exploring or building a new business that makes any kind of positive impact in their community. In the case of the Emerging Retail Brand Accelerator Midwest is really building generational wealth for you in underserved communities. So we have thousands of entrepreneurs to have built their for-profit and non-profit ventures by leveraging the SeedSpot support. This is the agenda for today. So first, I'm going to have some introductions. 2, we're going to just learn a little bit about who SeedSpot is, what is this lady here. Then I'm going to show you an alumni and mentor story. Then we're going to talk about the program features, applying tips, and at the end, we're going to have a Q&A. So we're going to open the end for any questions. However, if you do have questions as we go through the presentation, feel free to add those in the chat that my colleague Sandra is here. And if she knows the answer, she's going to be answering those via chat, or we can talk about it at the end. Great. So let's go to start with something fun. Type in the chat. Let me know your name, the name of your brand. You know, I want to know. You don't need to tell me where are you from because everybody here is from Ohio. But let me know your brand, your name and your brand. I'm really looking forward to see what type of brands we have here today. So please type in the chat. Good morning, Casey. Coffee with a cause. Love that. Love that. Amazing. Loretta, perfect. Thank you so much. I will go through those. That's a really good way for Sandra and myself to make familiar with you. So let's go to start right away with introductions. My name is Linda Norquist, and I'm the Marketing and Recruitment Manager at SeedSpot. I recruit amazing brands and founders just like you. I have a passion for social impact and for driven ventures. I am a bilingual marketing strategist. I have over a decade of experience connecting ventures through an impactful and cultural relevant message. So I have been an entrepreneur since I was little. I used to sell sandwich when I was in middle school. I got in trouble. After that, I have my own consultancy, with marketing. And during that time, I started to work as a mentor here at SeedSpot. And years later, I'm here in SeedSpot, just ready to support and to help you go through your own journey. So let's go to hear from Sandra. Sandra, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm so sorry if I kicked out your note takers. It's because we have too many note takers. So I apologize in advance. But to start with, I'm Sandra Huedacla. I'm Mentorship Program Manager from SeedSpot. I'm based in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. If you guys have been at the DMV, you've heard of, well, not the Drive DMV, but the DMV area. A bit about me. I've been working at SeedSpot for 2 years. I connect our entrepreneurs to mentors. I'm not an entrepreneur myself, but I absolutely am passionate about entrepreneurship. I've been in the social impact space for about 7 years. I'm originally from Kenya, Nairobi, so I love going home. If you've ever been to East Africa, you know what I'm talking about. And just reading some of your comments on your like, brands are really exciting. They look really yummy, and so it's got me hungry. The coffee with a cause made me think about my coffee this morning. Anyway, point is, I'm excited to be here, and it's such a pleasure to meet you guys.
Perfect. Thank you, Sandra. So let's going to talk a little bit about SeedSpot. So right here is some of our 2025 impact report data, and honestly is one of my favorite parts of the presentation. We were founded in 2012 here in Arizona. I'm in Arizona. So SeedSpot has served over 4,616 entrepreneurs uh, over the course of all this time. And in the past year alone, our community generated together 447 million in revenue and raised 221 million in capital. It shows 206. Our founders have also created over 11,000 jobs as today. We are a national accelerator. We have custom programs that sometimes are local in specific regions or specific states, like in this case, the Midwest. A lot of people ask me, why, Linda, you're not doing this nationally? Is because the founder of this program, our programs are always free. We don't require any time of equity or anything from you, because we have founders. We're a nonprofit, and we have these founders that give us the money to run these programs. And sometimes these founders wants to run it in specific states and specific areas. And that's the reason that this program is going to be run specifically on the Midwest. And the alumni spotlight, I'm sure everybody here knows her. She actually was the one who recommended me the Wonder Woman of food. Is Ruthie Bass. She is one of our most amazing alumni. In past May, she went to the Retail Accelerator in the Road to Open Call. She was very nervous. You guys can ask her. In the last minute, she didn't want to pitch to Walmart. She said she didn't feel ready. It was too much. She talked to us. But as she went through the program and she get all these bits of information, she started to feel more confident. And she got the golden ticket that day. Sandra was over there. You were with her as Ruthie. And what did she say that day, Sandra?
No, she was really, really grateful. She loved SeedSpot. She'd been through, obviously, as I'm sure many of you founders have been through many different types of programs that are focused on retail. But Shruti said what she really appreciated about SeedSpot was both, and I know it sounds like I'm talking up us, but like this is what she said. I think we have a video, Linda, on social media, if I'm not wrong, of her talking about SeedSpot. But she really appreciated the community, and there were a bunch of other founders in the room with her. And she had a good time. She was scared, but she was confident. She was excited. She got a ticket, and she's pitching, I think, this October in Arkansas. So yeah.
Yeah, excited for her. So, besides our alumni, something that makes us special, SeedSpot is our mentors. We are really customized. We really are thoughtful about the mentors that we bring to SeedSpot. I'm going to let Sandra later answer any questions about mentorship, but usually they need to have a background and a specialty in whatever the accelerator is. In this case, every mentor that we bring is either going to be a successful founder in the CPG or retail space, or somebody who works in that space. Sometimes we have people who have worked in the past as a buyer for retails, and they are mentors now. So really, mentorship is a very important part of an accelerator at SeedSpot. that is going to help you to grow. We are going to give you a lot of opportunities one-on-one. You're going to have a mentor in resident that is going to be in every single class, answering every questions that you may have as a group, just yourself. Also, is going to be offering office hours. What that means is you get to schedule a one-on-one with this mentor, and they can help you from refining your pitch, your presentation. Maybe you have questions about the curriculum. Maybe there was something that it was not in the curriculum that you really need help with. So this person is going to be there to give you that one-on-one touch. We also are going to offer list or like a menu of mentors. You usually have, you will say, Sandra, is between seven and nine, eight?
Between 7 to 12 mentors actually that we offer on the directory. Yeah, and the directory will give you an opportunity to select mentors who can help with very pointed things that you're looking for. So what I ensure to do is that like you'll have a pre-survey that you take for the program that we always give out. That pre-survey, you put your mentor needs. And so I try to make sure I have a bucket of those needs in there. And then the mentor in residence does a lot of the amazing work, but the other mentors are also supplementary because while we do our best, and I think our curriculum is really, really good, we also know we don't know everything. So we love to have mentors come in and experts come in to give knowledge that we might not have.
Correct. And in the way that it's going to show on your site is going to be a website. You're in that website, you're going to find the picture, the linking, the straight of every single mentor, all those links you're going to be able to go through. And every week you will go there and you will select who do you want to meet with, and you will meet in your own time. You know, of course, your own time and the mentor's time. Something that I also feel that is really important, that it has happened in the past, and we have talked to mentors about it, and tell me, Sandra, about it, is they also are going to be there to do introductions for you. If they know somebody in your network that can help you, and it will be a really good person for you to get to meet, they are always doing those introductions. So one of our main goals, that actually was not a goal at the beginning, but now it's kind of a goal, is that by the end of the accelerator, you have a little network on your own of people that is going to be specifically there for your needs. So one is the mentor in residence, and the second one, it will be these mentors that can make introductions. And of course, Tristan, the VP of programs, she can do introductions. Sandra as well, if you need. Here is Ariana Edwards. She's the founder and CEO of Baila Shoes. She was a mentor in residence in our past retail brand Accelerator. So she was a mentor in residence back on May, correct, Sandra?
Yes. Yep.
So I'm going to let her to say in your words. Let me know, everyone.
Retail Brand Accelerator, where I help.
Can you hear? Okay, perfect. Let me rewind.
Retail Brand Accelerator, where I help a lot of founders who are very interested in entering into retail, craft their pitch, their storytelling, and provide them with education that will help them be successful on the shelves and outside.
I love that. Can you tell us about what you like about working with Seed Spot?
I love the absolute culture. It has a culture that is rooted in community and authenticity. We have these programs and it's like, yes, we're learning all of these elements and these things, but there's always a time to level set and meet founders where they are. So whether that's through Q&A, whether that's through tailoring presentations to the stage that they're at, that sense of understanding where the founder is truly fundamental for us to be able to let them know the roadmap and the steps to going into retail. So I love that aspect of it.
I love it. And as a founder yourself, can you tell us why mentorship is fundamental to business?
Mentorship is fundamental entirely. You don't know what you don't know. And so when it comes to mentorship, you want to be able to connect with somebody who is at that stage or have crossed that stage or milestone that you're really aiming to be at. So when it comes to mentorship, individuals like myself, we're helping these founders navigate the questions and the thought process behind some of the topics that they did not want to discover, right? So we are pretty much doing our part as mentors in terms of the risk taking and helping founders look at their company in a different lens. Therefore, that makes them able and prepared to tackle anything that is up ahead for their company.
Beautiful. So can you tell me about one moment, aha moment that you had with a founder that you worked with recently or maybe in the last 2 years? Anything.
One aha moment that I had in the last cohort was actually working with the founder who did not have a solidified pitch at all. She was an amazing founder, built a great company, but when I first met with her, she was not as strong in pitching and did not think that she was capable to deliver a 3-minute pitch by the end of demo day. Me and her worked together side by side. We made sure that elements were clear, and she walked out with an outstanding pitch and mentors, advisors, and potential partners that were able to help her scale. So I'm excited that I was able to bring that strength out of that founder that I see.
Love that. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Like I say, community. Nobody can be successful by themselves. You need a tribe, you need a community, you need support, and that's what SeedSpot is about. So now let's go to have a program overview that probably this is what everybody wants to know about. So let's go to start with the program futures. A lot of people ask me, okay, how this work if it's virtual? So through our program offers a lot, like a huge range or variety ways to stay connected and supported through your journey, even though it's virtual. So you get weekly emails to keep you updated on deadlines, events, and more, everything that is happening. You also have personalized, like I say, mentoring and coaching sessions. Everybody learns in a different pace. So that's why we have the mentoring residents to support you during class sessions, outside of class sessions, with curriculum questions and real-time help. You also have access to the mentor directory. So we already talked about the mentor directory during class, but once you graduate from an accelerator with SeedSpot, you still will have access to this mentor directory of about over 400 mentors we have right now, national level. So if, let's see, in a year, you're like, okay, I'm ready to grow my team. I want to hire, but I need mentorship in how to grow my company, in how to grow the team. You will reach out to Sandra, and Sandra will connect you with the right mentor. So this support doesn't end at the end of the 8 weeks. You also will have experts in different experts and also discounts. Is that the other thing that we're going to give to all the alumni? It's a specific database that you can access to for people that works with SeedSpot that is going to give you some discounts, some special prices in things for the future. On top of that, you have access to a classroom via a cloud. So it's an interactive learning. So the only time that you need to be live is during the time of the class. After that, you can do your homework, do your readings, recheck everything on your own time. So that's a huge question that I usually get from people. And finally, you're going to get, pre-work, workbook. You're going to get homework like everybody else, but the homework is really going to be focused on your own brand. Let's see, you have homework about projections. You learn about projections that day. You are going to be doing the projections for your own brand. So all the homework is going to be specifically related to that.
Linda,
Yes.
so I was gonna say, sorry, if I can add a bit more, because part of my role as well is I am in classes with you. So I'm usually
Go
like
ahead.
part of the facilitation with Tristan. So I would say the weekly emails, yeah, you're gonna love hearing and hate hearing from me regularly, but it's gonna be a good touch point. I will also say another way that the program really works that makes it interactive is you'll have breakout rooms. The part of the community building that's important is like you're gonna be learning from other founders with you. And so you really are cohort building. And so Tristan, who's in charge of programs and who teaches or facilitates our classes, really makes sure that there's a blend of both time for you to reflect and then time for you to connect. And so there's a good balance of both. I'd also highly recommend, although it might seem like we're trying to make you as adults do homework, the pre-work is so pivotal. The only way you get better at your business is working on your business. And sometimes when you're running a business, you don't have time to work on the business. So this is going to be your 1 hour, maybe 2 hours in a week to actually work on your business. And so the pre-work and the workbook are super important resources for future or even during the time that you're in the accelerator to really strengthen those things that you haven't had time to focus on. Back to you, Linda.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that. Next, so online programming. So like I say, everything is virtual. CSPOT has been doing virtual programs way before the pandemic, right? Because after the pandemic is when everybody got into virtual. So we can assure you that Tristan is very high energy. So every single class is going to be interactive. It's going to be in Zoom. You're going to be answering questions. You're going to be helping each other. You're going to be receiving help not only from the expert or from the mentor in resident, but you're going to be receiving help from the other ventures in the cohort. So it's really a great way to learn. We understand everybody's going to learn in a different pace. So that's why we have all these communication touching points. So let's go to talk about specifically this accelerator. So the Emerging Retail Brand Accelerator Midwest, what it is. So this is an accelerator that is specifically for CPG brands that are generating 25,000 or more in annual revenue and ready to grow. I want to say something about this number. A lot of people ask me, Linda, I'm making 20,000, a little bit more. Can I still apply? Yes, I would love for you to still apply. Because something that I love about Seed Spot is we're not that black and white. If I see that you're making 23,000, I'm not going to just decline you. Never. Something that I love about my job is that we look at the full picture. You're not going to talk to you. I want to ask you like, hey, why you're making less? And everybody has a different reason. I have an interview this week, actually, and she was making slightly less. And the reason was that, she's like, instead of selling the product, I decided that I want to reinvest the money into like more research. I want to be sure that I develop my program better. So I've been giving some samples instead of being selling them. So everybody has a reason. So please don't let that number stop you to apply. Okay. So in your application, if the system doesn't let you enter a number under 25, enter the 25, but in the system is going to give you space. Just explain over there what is your actual revenue and what it is, because I'm going to want to know what it is, that different amount. Again, we're looking for CPG brands that are producing a product. Hopefully you're producing a product at home. You have some steady sales, you're ready to move into manufacturing facility, or just, let's see, you are doing bars at home, right? You're ready to move into a industrial kitchen or a bigger kitchen, the one out of your home. So this is the stage that we're looking for. You're working maybe to validate your prototype of the food, or you're looking for a strong manufacturing practices and you want to be ready to grow, but you don't know what to do. I have a lot of people is like, I know I need to have a co-packer. I just don't know where to find a co-packer or what to ask a co-packer, like how I know that it's a good co-packer or it's not. So that's the questions that you have to ask yourself. If you're already selling, and I have people selling in farmer markets or in a website, on local shops, that's the stage that we're looking for to have in this specific accelerator. And again, somebody who's already demonstrated traction. Traction is going to be different in every single brand, every single person. So for some people, traction is going to be talking about consistent sales. Okay, somebody, oh yeah, consistently I'm selling my cookies at the farmer's market every Sunday. But for somebody else that is not doing that, it could be traction. It could be that they have, they've been doing a strong customer validation. They already have some interviews and surveys with potential customers. He had a lot of feedback. So somebody else is maybe means that is a tested prototype, and he have a solid manufacturer, but doesn't know how to grow and go from there, doesn't know how to create the brand. So if you have all these questions, you're the right person for this specific accelerator. And remember, I always say to people, if you are not sure, apply. Send me an email, ask me any questions, but apply, because sometimes we really need to see the full picture before I can answer yes or not, okay? This is an example of the weekly topic. So one of the main questions that I always get is, Linda, how long is going to take from my time every week? We did that for you. 7 to 10 hours is the week commitment. 7 to 10 hours. What that includes? That includes an hour of class, mentorship, doing the homework, doing the reading, all this time, in those meetings, that's going to be 7 to 10 hours. Remember, the only time that you need to be live is during the classes. The classes are going to be Tuesday and Thursday, 12 to 1 Chicago time. I'm not sure Chicago time is the same as Ohio, but 12 to 1. So that's 12 to 1 is the only time that you need to be live. The rest, you can modify your schedule. The only other thing that we want to ask is, if you get accepted into the program, be sure that you're going to be available the time of the classes. Be sure that you block that time in advance, because if you miss more than 2 classes, you're going to get kicked out of the program. Why? Because we need to be sure that we're not asking for anything else but that commitment of time. Here is an example of some of the themes of the content for this specific accelerator. So the first week is always foundation, is readiness checklist, the business model, the product problem solution. Tristan needs to be sure that your foundations are ready. Also, you're going to learn about brand strategy and positioning. So the 360-degree planning that provides tool, support, resources needed to support growth in retail. Then also you're going to learn about retail selling environment. So training from cross-functional retail experts. So we're going to have experts, established brands, retail buyers, and distributors during class. And they are going to teach you about what is required to successfully launch or successfully grow and thrive in an omnichannel or retail environment. You're going to have that face-to-face with them, so you don't get scared. Also, you're going to learn about supply chain, manufacturing, and logistics. So a deep dive into production and packaging, the supply chain management capabilities that are needed for retail. So you know if you are ready to grow and how to grow. Also, you're going to learn about building a team, strategies for building teams, advocates that support a scale, but also maintains your brand. Budgeting, cost of goods, funding projection. This is a critical model on financial planning, developing an expense roadmap, and raising capital. Also, you're going to learn about digital marketing, that is everything right now. And at the end, you're going to have some sales presentation, that is opportunity to practice your pitch directly to key stockholders and preparing yourself for a buyer pitching. Anything that you want to add, Sandra? No? Perfect. So these are the contexts that you are going to see in this specific accelerator. I hope if you guys have questions, you type those in the chat. Let's go to talk now application. So applying for this program is also going to take you about 30 to 40 minutes. And that time is intentional. We are not looking for just a small snapshot summary of your business, but we're not looking for an essay either. So we really build this application around a few things that we evaluate in every submission. So we want to be sure that you're ready for a scale. So this program is not, you just have the idea. We want to be sure that you, like I said, you already have that validation in prototype. You're ready selling, recurring sellings. People really wants your product. And second, traction. Again, like I said, traction is different for everybody. It could be sales. It could be the user feedback that your product has already been refined based on real life customer experience. So this is really important. A few things in the tips that makes an application successful is answer the questions that we ask you. Don't answer questions that you wish that we have asked. We really need to be sure that you answer those questions. Be concise. Don't answer yes, no. Be sure that it's full sentences. Check your grammatic. If you use ChatGPT, please be sure that you erase. I've got a lot of applications that you still see the ChatGPT line that ask if they want to refine the answer. So, we really want to get to know you. So be really mindful and when you are writing down. What is the admission process? The admission process is really easy. You enter your application. After you submit the application, I review the application. And I call you for a 20-minute interview. The 20-minute interview is going to be with myself. No scary at all. in that 20 interview, I just want to get information from you, like information that I don't see in the application. Maybe you missed to enter the revenue, or maybe that's my question, why your revenue is this. I just want to get to know you as a founder, and I want to get to know your business overall, not just what it says over there, that it helps us to make decisions. After that, we have an admission committee, and in that admission committee, we do the selection of the cohort. We're going to be selecting about 23, 25 ventures. I have to say, it is competitive sometimes, these accelerators, just because we get 80 applications and we only have 20 spots. So in the case that you don't make it, it's not you. I want to be clear of that. Sometimes is we have too many applications, and something that we try to balance the application. We're trying to, have, if I have frozen food, I want to be sure that everybody's not frozen food, right? If I have a coffee, I like to have sometimes two people with coffee, so we know that they can talk to each other and help each other. If I have somebody that like garbage kids vegan, something vegan, I want to have somebody else that maybe also that's vegan, so you have like a counterpart to help you with. So we're really thoughtful in how we choose who's going to be in that room. We really try to create that synergy so you guys can get the most that you can. And you will have an email letting you know if you get accepted or not after September 28th. September 28th is the final deadline. So we usually wait after the final deadline to send just one email to everybody who's been accepted or not. If for some reason you're not, you're always welcome to ask me, Linda, can you give me some tips? I have people that I have applied twice before they get into a cohort, and they ask me, and I tell them, we were looking for this, just still focus on this, and then give us a few months, and then they apply a few months later and they get in. So don't be never scared to ask myself any questions that you have about it, okay? So this is something that I'm really excited, this admission process. Again, strong applications. Don't answer questions with one sentence, just like my teenagers. Yes, no. I have seen that, so please explain. Give me a full sentence, Grammar is important. Again, be specific. Sometimes I have like essays, like they talk and talk and talk, and then at the end, I'm like, so finally, what? What we doing here? So trying to, to be specific. Again, respond directly to the questions. Personal story. This is something that is super important for us. What drives you? Why did you decide to do this? Why did you decide one day to wake up and create this product? Like, I want to learn about that passion, because that passion is what is going to keep you successful. Being an entrepreneurship is not easy. You're going to have your good and your bad days, and I'm sure you already know that. But knowing what it drives you is going to be really helpful for us and for you. And submit your application early. I always tell everyone, submit an application early. Our priority deadline is August 31st, which is that Monday? I cannot see over here from my little. I'm already blind.
Yeah, it's Monday.
Which is Monday. So that's our priority deadline. And what that means is we review those applications first. And we start to put together the cohort. So please do it with time, so I have time. If I have questions, I have time to send you an email and ask you extra questions. I have time to call you for an interview, and you have more space on my calendar to choose a specific date of time that works for your interview. It just makes it easy. Sometimes when you submit early, I can help you a little bit more. So please, I would love for you guys to submit your applications as early as today, if you can. So what's next? Like I said, complete the application. The final deadline is September 28th. Don't wait until that day. So I can call you to that 20-minute interview. The selection committee representative will be me again, and then we can make the offers. After that, after I make the offer and we say, you're accepted, you are going to schedule a vendor consultation. And a vendor consultation is just like a 20-minute call, either with Tristan or somebody from the team. They want to learn a little bit more about you. What are your challenges right now? What are you looking to be your outcomes? What do you need? Because we use that information to tweak a little bit the curriculum And also that information goes to Sandra and she can find the best mentors for you. So that's why it's important that you schedule that and that you fill out that pre-survey. And the last step is the welcome celebration. We're going to have a welcome celebration. The welcome celebration is just the week before you start. And that's just assume like this one is optional, but we usually bring every single person that is going to be on the cohort, including the mentoring residents, or if we have available any other mentor or any other person is going to be there, is going to answer questions. You guys are going to learn who else is going to be over there. You're going to share your LinkedIn, your emails. You are going to get to know each other. We're going to play a game, but the idea is that by the time that you go that first day of class, you already know who's there and you are already familiar with. So it's a really great way for us. And finally, stay connected. So these are a few ways to stay in the loop. I sent you this before. Sign up for the newsletter. I have a newsletter that comes out once a month. That newsletter is going to tell you all the upcoming programs, links to applications. Follow us on LinkedIn or Instagram, because again, that's the place where I usually add the spotlights for our alumni. I give you kudos if you are in our cohort, and I give you more information. And again, if you go to YouTube, see Spot Connect, you're going to find a lot of free workshops that we have over there. Right now, we upload 2 to 3 specific retail workshops, one about lining sheet, the other one that is one of our main mentors, Kathleen, that she's talking about the buyer's speech. So you're welcome to go and read that one as well. And then there is a mini class that happened a few months ago that Tristan gave for retail as well. So you guys are welcome to go and check that. So now let's going to open the floor for any questions. Anyone has any questions? Don't be shy. That's why we're here. Take advantage of this. If you don't have questions, it means that I did a perfect job. And I don't think so. I mean, I try to, but I don't think so. When I get all excited, my accent starts to get in my way.
Linda, stop. Your accent never gets in your way. You're just amazing the way you are. But seriously, guys, if you have any questions about the program, about like anything across the board, mentors, like we're happy to answer. Or if you just want to go submit your application right now, we're also happy to accept that. We'll take both.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So I know that the Seed Spot it's for entrepreneurs across a vast array of industries. Do you guys have a breakdown of, or maybe it's different for every application session, but a breakdown of like food, beauty? Do you guys like kind of section it out like that? Or, because I know all of us in this session specifically are food related.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, I think we had one person who was beauty. So I wouldn't say, do you mean, do we have a breakdown in the classes or do we have a breakdown in our application pool?
In the application pool.
Okay, I think Linda can answer that a bit more on the data side, but I know we ensure we get a good blend of, I think, food and everything, and then we try to ensure the classes are a good blend of like
Yeah.
if we have 2 food people, we got 2 food people, 2 beauty people, everyone's got a partner or a dancing partner at least. But Linda can
Okay.
break down on
It is, yes. We try to have dancing partners. And you know, and sometimes, at least as right now, most of the people that I have is food. You know,
Oh, okay.
it's so weird. I have an accelerator that everybody was a candle. And I
Yeah.
was like, what's going on? And in this one, most of the people is food. So I have to tell you that. So when we get that, we're like, perfect. We start to break down, frozen food, bakery. So it really depends who we have in the application pool, but we are really thoughtful or have a blend of everybody there. I want to be sure that everybody is going to be there. So, but for this specifically, I don't have that many
Which I
of
think
anything else, which is gonna
kind of
have
makes
just 2 or
sense
3.
regionally, right? If I'm thinking about the Midwest and like what America is it kind of makes sense regionally in some ways, but I don't know, maybe I'm making assumptions across the board, but yeah.
But we are really thoughtful. And usually what we do is by the priority deadline next week, I take everybody who applied so far. I check the industry, like you say, that we do the subcategories. And before we even start, we're like, okay, as right now we have this many people is frozen food, this many people is clothing, this many other people is something. But to be truthful, like right now, pretty much everybody's food. And we actually we actually like food. Reason to be is because the next year we have the retail brand accelerator, which is a retail accelerator that is one step ahead of this one, is when you're already selling,
At big numbers and you want to go to
wise, and you
Target and
want to move.
Walmart. Yeah.
And then we also have the road to open call with Walmart. So we have food because we know that they also like those.
Yeah.
And we will let you know also of those opportunities. That's something that we're really good at, is we let you know of these opportunities. Either you are or you're not. If I got you
Yeah,
in my
because
system, I will let you know about every single opportunity.
for example, and that's to say, like, you when you do one seed spot accelerator, you can do more than one. So for example, we just had someone that just finished the Chicago retail and they're interested in doing this retail accelerator as well. And so they're gonna apply. So at some point, if you're at the point of like you finish this accelerator, you absolutely love it, and you're interested in doing, you've a year's passed by, you're at a good range, you're like, I would love to kind of do the Walmart, then you can apply directly. And we already have that data on you. So it's part of what I love about Seed Spot is like we don't say you just have to come once. We've had repeat students and they've all gotten something out of it at a different point in time in their business, which makes sense. Sorry, that was a long answer, but yes.
No, that's perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Nope, no problem. Any other question? Oh yeah,
I
go
do
ahead.
have a question. My question is, what would you say? I know you mentioned Shruti for her experience of the accelerator, but what would you say is a lot of other success stories after the accelerator? What's something that we could expect after completing the accelerator, and what do you envision us being like after the
Yeah.
experience?
I will say I think success really depends on you as the founder, right? Like in
Mm-hmm.
general honesty, like how you approach the accelerator and what you do and how you take advantage of it is what makes you successful. And I think we have a data point somewhere, which I don't know if Linda has it or I have it, but most of our retail brand accelerator participants, whether it's this one or the early, come out with either a new PO, a new customer, a new manufacturer, some kind of new network. Some of them end up finding a VC funder. So it's kind of like what you make the most of it, right? Linda talked a lot about the mentors opening doors for you. That's all dependent on how well you build a relationship with them, right? Like no one likes to feel extracted from. So if you come into this open, excited, kind of like in a place where you can learn, there's a lot. Another example I could give was the same year that Shruti, earlier this year, we had a couple, Mark and Kat from Nuspira, and they were mushroom coffee. And they did the retail brand accelerator and then they pitched to Road to Open Call Walmart. And from then on, they've just continued kind of growing through their customer base. They've come back and let us know how things are going. And so for them, the program was really fruitful in the because let me explain. So for the Road to Open Call, we've got people who apply for the Road to Open Call and they get 3 classes as a result. And then we've got people who are already in our retail brand accelerator and then they apply for Road to Open Call. Successfully, most of the people who got tickets were those who were in our retail brand accelerator, but in general, SeedSpot had the highest number for our Road to Open Call. I think we had 8 or 13 tickets for yes, which is the highest in the country because they do them everywhere. So I'd say the success really depends on you, but for us, the outcomes we look at is, yeah, have you got a new customer? Have you opened a new market? Was there something that you tried before that didn't work, but now after being in class, you've been able to pitch better, right? Those kind of things are what we look at as curriculum on our curriculum as what we count as wins. And then for you, it's all dependent on how you see it. That was a long answer, but I hope that was helpful.
See,
No, that was helpful. Thank you.
no, but I get that. To complement, I get that question a lot. And in the past, for example, we have people that got into Sprouts, Whole Foods, Sephora, Ulta, is Marshalls or TJ Maxx. But I wouldn't say that the reason they go there is 100% seed spot. The reason is we give them they were in front of the buyers during the classes and they took the time to outside of the class after they had a conversation, reach out to them and follow the conversation and apply what they have. So it's like how proactive you are with that. Like we are going to put you in front of a lot of key people, but we are not going to, hey,
We don't
Like
make the
you to have a
relationships for you.
contract. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's up to you to take that that leap
Feedback.
and that leak. The same with the mentors. There is a lot of people that go through the mentors, but they never ask a mentor for an introduction, or they don't ask those many questions. They really don't take advantage of the mentorship. And and there is to help you. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to say, can you introduce me to this person? Do you know somebody in this other space that you can introduce me? Like, it really is going to depend of your RIA, and your attitude towards that. And like, just come with a big attitude to learn, to listen to feedback too. That is super important, the listening to feedback. There is people who doesn't like feedback a lot, and you need to listen. That doesn't mean that you have to do whatever your mentor say 100% blinded. No, but it means like, okay, listen to it, think about it, and see if this is something that you want to go with. So I think that is also really important, being able to be coachable.
Sorry, I was going to say, Casey had a question. Casey, I'm not sure I can answer that question, but I do believe Lori's on the call. So she's not able to, at the moment, answer questions. But we can definitely put you in touch to follow up later on the different avenue for Wonder Woman for food, because we're part of the Seed Spot team. I don't know if you see the question, Linda.
Or what do you mean, Casey? If you can get out of mute 1 second and just explain what do you mean, to see maybe we don't understand the question.
I just wondered if there was a better avenue. I mean, this kind of seems like maybe, I don't want to sound conceited, but maybe, this is for people who are just starting out and looking to accomplish what we've already accomplished. So I'm just wondering if maybe there's something else. I have previously applied for the open call with Walmart, and unfortunately was not chosen the last time. But just wondering if there's something else you had talked about, a different tier of, opportunities and whatnot. So just wondering if there was maybe something that was maybe a better fit for us.
Yeah, Casey, I would say if you feel like you're further ahead, necessarily business-wise, if you're already kind of selling, like you said, to 3, you should definitely take a look at our website. We usually have a retail brand accelerator, and those are for those who are kind of feeling a bit further ahead and are hoping to upscale or scale up to sell to Walmart or to Target or to bigger brands. So we do offer that. This is, I would say, stage-wise, this is more of early stage, and then that's more mid-stage. So feel free to take a look. However, I'll also say, Casey, a lot of the material that we teach can also be taught. It's kind of like, I'd say Tristan, our facilitator and fearless leader, does a really great job of meeting you where you're at. So while this might seem really early stage and you're 100% correct, you know your business better, I would still say you probably will get a lot of value from the classes. But if you feel like you don't, please take a chance and look at our website for our retail brand accelerator. That's definitely further a step ahead.
I'm going to put over here, the retail brand accelerator is for mature CPG brands. So this one is for emerging, newest branch. That one is for mature branch. The retail brand accelerator, the applications officially are going to open in January 5. But right now, you go to the website, you can get into the waiting list. And usually I'm going to go through the waiting list first before I go through that. But the Retail Brand Accelerator opens January 5th and it's going to run March 29 to May 19. And usually the people in that cohort is the one that we invite into the Road to Open
call. Yeah. So Casey, that could be a better fit for you business-wise.
That could be a better phase.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
So please go online, look at that. I'm going to enter right here my email. If you can
just keep in touch in case anything comes up, just keep in touch with us and we'll be happy to provide any information. And that goes for all of you guys. If you feel like you're a bit further ahead as well and it makes sense, yes. If you feel like this would be useful for you now, also feel free to take advantage. And like we said, you don't have to just do one program, you can do both. So kind of see how you feel across the board.
Yeah, feel free, go to seedspot.org and it says apply, and then the drop down, you're going to find this program, you're going to find the Retail Brand Accelerator. Casey, you can read more about the Retail Brand Accelerator that is for mature brands. You can enter a waiting list there. You can apply for that one and this one, you're just welcome. And anybody else, if you guys have more questions, you guys want a specific link, or want to ask me questions privately via email, not here, please do. We are here to support you and to give you as much information so you can make an informed decision. Any other questions?
Sorry, are we receiving the application via email or do we need to log on to the website to access it?
I sent you an application link before, but
Oh,
after
okay.
the meeting, I was going to upload this recording to send you the link to the recording and also again send you the link. I'm going to send you a follow-up email after this with that. So don't worry. I sent it before, but I will send it again because I usually do that. I just have a quick question. Eva, I just want to understand, do you want me to delete you from the recording? I just want to be sure before I know.
No, that's actually my AI assistant.
Ah, okay.